I'm Hannah Broxmeyer, and I passed Jen.
I'm Sean McClellan, and I have to be here at 6:45 every morning next week for gym makeups.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
It's going to be a time of my life.
I'm Riley Freed with this week's Around Campus.
I'm Finn Corcoran with your BMB Sports.
I'm Sid, and I've got your What Is That?
I'm Cumulonimbus Charles with your Weekend Forecast.
These are the BMB morning announcements for Friday, November 4th.
Good morning, Mepham. Today is Friday, November 4th, day 5. Please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Happy Friday, Pirates. Sean, you want to know what's really coming up soon?
What is it?
Battle of the Classes. If you haven't heard enough about the event and all the pre-events, here's Maya Stone with more with our 13th annual Penny Wars.
Thanks, guys. I'm here in the main office to tell you about Penny Wars. Penny Wars is the second most important event leading up to Battle of the Classes. This event runs until this upcoming Wednesday. Penny Wars is a path to get more points for your class and an easy way to be involved. Make sure you place pennies in your class bin to gain a positive effect and silver change or cash into other classes to sabotage them, like freshmen. For BMB, I'm Maya Stone. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Maya. Another pre-event that is new to this year's Battle of the Classes is the Stair Climb. Organized by PIG classes, students will follow a path that mimics 2,997 steps, one for each one of the lives lost during the horrible terrorist attacks on 9/11.
That event sounds really cool. Exhausting, but definitely cool.
Wait, Sean, real quick, do you know Maya hosts midweek?
Hannah, I think I know where you're going with this.
You know what else is on midweek? Sheep on the Loose. Let's see what he's been up to.
Sheep!
Now, what's your name? Tough crowd out here today at Trunk or Treat, eh? All right, do you guys have any favorite candies for Halloween?
Snickers.
Hershey's.
Left Twix.
I'm more of a Snickers guy.
What's so good about the Left Twix?
It's an underdog. It's got that mentality.
Yeah.
Because when you don't eat a Snickers, you're not yourself.
That's so lame. That's so dry.
That was awesome. This week's commercial aired during the episode, but normally they play it at the end. So make sure you tune in to the end of every episode for a new commercial. I can't wait to see the whole thing on Midweek Update.
Me either, but something else that I can't wait for is the Flag Field of Honor set up on Sunday.
Me too. I wonder what teachers are going to come.
Definitely Mr. Pat and Miss Dennis, but I wonder what administrators are going to come. And speaking of administrators, let's see who our temporary assistant principal is on this week's Around Campus.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Around Campus. For the past few days, people around Mepham may have seen a familiar face in the hallways. Mr. DeTommaso, our former superintendent, who has come to fill in as our assistant principal while Mr. Dell is out for a few weeks. How are you doing today, Mr. DeTommaso?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for inviting me back. It's always a pleasure to be at BMB.
While you were most recently our superintendent, this really is a welcome back to Mepham for you. It was all the way back in 1988.
Oh, goodness gracious.
When you were first here as a social studies teacher. In all of those years, what would you say is the most different about Mepham since 1988?
Well, since 1988, obviously in that photo, I had a lot of hair. So that's changed significantly for me. I mean, looking at this camera now and then looking at that photo, wow, a lot has changed in the 30-some-odd years. Honestly, Mepham has always been, I always said Bellmore-Merrick was my home away from home. And if Bellmore-Merrick is my home away from home, then I always had an apartment at Mepham. Because, this is where my career began. This is where my love of teaching and learning and working with kids began in 1988. It's some amazing people that worked in the building. So, yeah, it's really wonderful to be back.
Finally, now that you are back in this single high school, What are some day-to-day events and activities that you look forward to being a part of?
I think just a day-to-day interaction with kids. You know, I mean, the hardest part for me when I moved to the central office was not interacting with kids every single day, because that's any educator that gets into this profession. If they're not in this, if they don't get into this for kids and only about kids, then they should be doing something else. So I miss that interaction, you know, over the years. I try to get to the buildings as much as I can and to develop programs and, you know, sort of be part of the creation of something like this, you know, for kids and doing it different ways and for students. But definitely just that interaction, any chance I could get to make a kid's day or help someone out down the road or give some advice. I mean, that's really what I'm looking forward to.
Well, thank you so much for stopping in today, Mr. DeTommaso.
Yeah, pleasure. Pleasure.
If you see him in the hallways, be sure to say hi. Now, back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Riley, and welcome back, Mr. DeTommaso.
Yes, welcome. Sean, do you know if he's in charge of AP students paying for their exams?
You know, I don't. But for all AP students, this is the last reminder that your AP invoices must be paid today in order to avoid a $40 late fee. If you didn't receive an invoice, speak to your AP teacher, Miss Friend, or Dr. Karn ASAP.
Sean, I definitely cannot spend an extra $40. I need to be saving for the BMB Guac Shop fundraiser starting on November 11th.
I actually love Glock Shop. And another crazy important school event is the football game today against MacArthur.
That's right. B&B will be here to cover all the action. For more on this week's sports, here's Finnegan, Cork, and Doolin with your sports report.
Oh! To the house.
Hi, I'm Finn Corkindolin, and I'm back with your Mepham Sports. Let's get started. First, Mepham's football team beat Sewantica 27-12 this past Saturday, setting up today's playoff game against MacArthur right after school, and you know you can see that game right here on BMB. Next year, girls volleyball season has come to an unfortunate end, as they lost 3-1 against division rival and number 3 seeded Calhoun. They went as far as the quarterfinals in playoffs. Great job, girls. Next, the Bellmore-Merrick Lady Sharks have their county championship prelims today and tomorrow. They will compete in the county finals. Also tomorrow, your Mepham cross-country team will race in the state qualifiers at Bethpage State Park. The boys' winter track sign-up meeting will be this Monday, November 7th at 2:15 in the West Cafeteria. Well, thanks again. I'm Finn Corkindolin, and back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Finn. I hope the sun doesn't set during the game today.
Wait, why would the sun set so early now?
Daylight savings. But if you don't know what that might mean, Sid can definitely tell us more.
What is that?
What is that?
What is that?
Let's find out.
What is that?
Hey everyone. I've been so tired recently. I feel like I'm not getting enough sleep. At least I can get an extra hour on November 6th. Why, you may ask? Well, that's because that's when daylight savings is. And you might be wondering why there's 2 daylight savings days. Technically, it's just one, and it just lasts for a couple months. Starting from March, lasting until November, the clocks are sprung forward, and then they fall back in November. Get it? Because spring in March and fall in November. The reasons for daylight savings can be traced all the way back to the First World War. In order to conserve fuel for troops, in 1918, countries all over the world set their clocks back an hour using more sunlight and saving valuable electricity. And now you know. Enjoy that extra hour of sleep, and back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Sid. And since we're on the topic of weather, let's just send it right over to Cumulonimbus Charles with this week's weather report.
Hey, Mepham. How's it going? That's great to hear. I was doing all right myself until... Let me address the elephant in the room. It is my displeasure to share with you all the sour news I received but 1 day ago. This weekend will have weather. I know, this news, it's heavy, but what may relieve some of this pressure is the intel my informant sent me but 1 hour ago. Voila, our last hope. Today, our day of preparation. We still have sun. Gather resources and find a spot to stay in before they're all taken up. Tomorrow, things get real. Stay vigilant. Don't move unless you're told. There will be a low of 59, high of 70, and some of that dreaded cloud cover. Sunday, the least sunny day of all. A shame, a real shame. Those clouds, they're cloudy, all right. Please, please, promise me that you're going to stay strong. See you later, Mepham.
Thanks, Charles, for the beautiful weather forecast.
Well, that's it for us.
These have been the BMB morning announcements for Friday, November 4th. Have a great day, Mepham.